Hi everybody, this is Christine Bertram, and it is time for Tip Tuesday. Who's ready for a tip about ribbons? And I think that I cover ribbons a lot when I do my classes. I'm always telling you guys how I put cards together with ribbon, and I call it the tear and tape sandwich. And I thought, well, this will be good just to do one little video specifically about ribbon and what adhesives I'd use to put ribbon onto a card and what I wouldn't use to put ribbon on a card. Because I still have in class sometimes people will want to use liquid glue to put a ribbon down, and it's a bad mess. So I thought I'd just quickly go over that. So if anybody's ever searching in the page for ribbon, this video will come up, and I'm just going to go over very briefly about ribbon. I'll try to make it not a very lengthy one. But I just want to tell you guys like what I would do for putting ribbon together. So onto cards, I should say. So I'm going to flip down, and I've got a wonderful class coming up this coming Thursday, April 1st. So today's the 30th, and in 2 days I've got the fine art floral class. And so in this class, I have this really cool fine art ribbon that is on this card. It's different on this card, and I've got, yet again, every card has ribbon on it, and I want to show you just some different ways to put the ribbon on. If anybody, I know it's Tuesday and this class is in 2 days, but I still have space on Wednesday night for one person, or if anybody wants to go versions, I would have, if you place a minimum $40 order, I still have these kits. I have 3 kits available, so reach out to me soon if you do. So ribbon, we have liquid glue, we have glue dots, we have tear and tape, tape runner. There's other types of adhesive too, like dimensionals, and there's these foam adhesive strips. I generally do not use anything foam related when I'm using ribbon. I don't do it. I don't know if any of you guys do. I don't generally use a foam dimensional. I use these 3 things, not even this, because I'm not a big user of the tape runner. I think you guys, if you watch me at all, you know that I don't use tape runner a lot, but I'm going to use it today just to show you that it can be used. I am going to stay away 150% from liquid glue, and I'm going to show you why. I'll do a little demo of what it's like to put liquid glue on ribbon, and you're going to see why I don't use liquid glue with ribbon. But I call something a tear and tape sandwich. Tear and tape is basically, in essence, a double-sided tape that you can rip off of the roll, and it's got this waxy paper. And so what I'll do is I'll put the 2 pieces down on each end of where I want the ribbon. I don't put any adhesive here. I don't put adhesive on the ribbon. So many times I see people trying to put this tear and tape on the ribbon like this and then put it on to the paper. When you do that, it doesn't make the ribbon very flexible and go where you want. And once you start to put it down, it may get crunchy or like crumbly, or it might go in a weird spot, and then you're ending up pulling it off. So I never put, when I'm putting the tape, the ends behind, I don't put any sort of adhesive on the front here. So what I'll do is I'll pick off the tear and tape, and then I will put from the front. I look at what I'm doing. I don't go like this and try to guess how to put it on, like, because then it might not be centered right. Like, so if I'm trying to center this, I'm holding it, looking at it, and once I get it where I want it, I move my index finger away and I flip the end where the tear and tape is, and I do it to that side. So that just ensured to me that my ribbon was straight. And if it's not straight, I can still wiggle it a little bit up and down. It's very straight and it's flexible. Now, if you're not a happy fan about this, like this, take a little glue dot if you want to. I don't generally, but if you don't like that there's a little bit of wiggle there, take a glue dot like this, and you can put it right onto the paper, and now just set it back straight, and now you've got your ribbon a little bit more secure. Now, if you were going to cover that up with something, though, don't waste the glue dot. I know they're inexpensive, but you wouldn't even, if you're going to put something right over the top of it, you wouldn't have had to do that, because whatever you put on the top will secure it. Now, where the sandwich comes in is I take two more pieces of paper, or two more pieces of tape, and I put them right over the top of it. So I do this, I've done this for probably 15 years. And I do it, and I learned it because I didn't used to do it. I used to just use the tape runner, whatever, the little guy tape runner. And my cards that I'd have in my card bin or tote that had the ribbon on them, the ribbon would start to come undone, and so the adhesive wasn't sticking. So now what I would do is I would pick this off, and then my ribbon is super, super secure between the tear and tape sandwich, and then now I would use my liquid glue or whatever kind of adhesive you like to do to glue the rest of this, and then this will go on to your front here, just like that. Okay, so that's one way. Now, here's another thing. Let's say you were planning to pop this layer up. So I'm gonna put these little guys back on. Let's say you wanted to pop this layer up with dimensionals. So you're gonna grab, I'm gonna grab these. I'm getting to the end here, guys, of this one right here. So we might as well use up some of those. Okay, so we've got our glue scissors here. So let's say you're going to put dimensionals. Oh, I should have not used that one. That's not so good, but. So if you would have taken this off like this and then taken your dimensional backings off and put this down, what happens is you're trying to pop it up here, but what's going to happen is it's going to stick and go flat here. So you're going to kind of have a curve to it because of this wanting to pop. So the two things that you can do to avoid this is called, to me, a mishmash of adhesive. Either leave this piece on so that it's acting as single-sided tape, so it won't want to stick here. Or what you'll do is put another dimensional piece. So if you really want to do that, you just put a dimensional piece right there. So what will happen is it won't want to stick so much to there. So, and like, it'll make your paper kind of wavy. So the other thing though is I generally don't do this with the dimensional because you've got ribbon there and that's adding height. What I would do is personally, I leave these on. That's only if I'm dimensionalizing or popping up this layer. Okay, and we secured it a little bit. So that's one thing. That's exactly how I would secure something. The other option, I know not everybody is a fan of the tear and tape. So where's my ribbon here? So what you could do with ribbon, and I'm just gonna grab a short piece here. You could use your dimensionals as well. So people like dimensionals for putting ribbon down. Dimensionals are super tacky as well. So you could put that dimensional right down onto your paper. Gonna eyeball where it goes, and that works as well for adhering your ribbon. Oh, you guys, I was off the camera, sorry. So you could put your little glue dots there where they need to go, but I would make a glue dot sandwich then, because eventually that could, in a year, like if you haven't used this card because you were treasuring it for so long, you may have it. You don't want it to fall apart. So I would absolutely go ahead and put that glue dot right over the top of it. So we have a glue dot sandwich in that case, and that works as well too. You can trim that extra ribbon if it's too long. Okay, so we've used the tear and tape to secure the ribbon, making a sandwich, the glue dots to make a sandwich, but you can also use, let's see, here's where my ribbon's right here. You can also use the tape runner. So this is called Stamp and Seal. It's a double-sided tape on a roll, and I'm not the greatest with it because I generally don't flick I don't keep it straight, but oh, that was perfect. Okay. The trick with this adhesive is you have to be flush, and you can't do too big of a check mark. If you don't have it flush, half the glue stays on. And if you do too big of a check mark, the side, like it comes off the edge like that. So you just gotta get used to it. But regardless, I would still do a sandwich. So what is that, Stamp and Seal? I would do a Stamp and Seal sandwich. So you can still tape your ends down from behind. And I would still, now this is where I just love the tear and tape because it goes exactly where I want it to, where this, it just might not catch it, but oh man, it worked. So there it is. But half of it kind of went back in the roll because I'm not the expert at the stamp and seal. But either way, or any of these ways, I definitely put tape or adhesive on the bottom, and then I put adhesive on the top of it. And either putting it straight down from there, you know, after you put a little more liquid glue or whatever adhesive you like. And again, with the dimensionals, leaving the waxy paper on there so you get it being flush. Okay, so I talked about that I was going to show you guys the liquid glue. Oh, it makes you, I'll be honest with you, it makes me cringe just a little bit when I see people try to use liquid glue with ribbon, because it just creates a mess. We're only going to use a little bit. It just creates a mess. So ribbon, like fabric, it's whatever kind of material, and liquid glue is just that. It's a liquid. So if you put that on your ribbon, it's gonna seep. Oh, I just created a mess. Okay, I don't want to even press on it, but what happens is you press on this and it just makes your ribbon it's like it goes right through your ribbon, and now it makes your ribbon tacky and sticky, and it doesn't really dry fast. So the thing with tear and tape, glue dots, the tape runner is they're a dry, gooey glue, not a wet, tacky glue. So this, when you're making a card, you can't sit here and wait for your glue to dry. You really don't want to use liquid glue. Please, if you can do any favors for me while you're making cards, is use a gooey glue for your ribbons. Now, the other thing is, oh, there's a glue dot right there. The other thing is a bow. So I thought I'd give you guys a quick little, oops, I shook everything, a little recap on making the bows. So loose end on the right, if you're a righty, you go cross, over, and under. If you guys want to watch the bow maker video, it's about 20 some minutes long. I teach you all different tricks of the trade with the bow maker, which I'm getting 30 more of these back in stock this week. So if anybody's in the market for a bow maker, reach out to me. I can help you with that. Same thing, you do not want to use liquid glue on the back of this bow to put it on your card. It will not stick. You definitely will have the best bang for your buck taking a glue dot, putting it on the back of your bow, and then that's what you do for putting the bow. Now, if you don't like where your tails are going and having them all wonky, you just use more glue dots until you get the tails exactly where you want them. And if you get what I will use up to 5 glue dots on a card. So I'll put this guy here. Under a bow. I'll use up to 5 glue dots for a bow. So now he's looking good, except for that one's still a little bit going out the wrong direction. So, oh, and I missed it. It's stuck on here. Ah, you guys, it went right there. Oh, I found it. So get that right where you, so now in essence, you've got a perfect little bow that is on the front of your card, and it's completely secured with glue dots. Don't try to use tear and tape with putting a bow. Don't try to put the stamp and seal. I highly, 150 million times over anything else, would recommend glue dots for putting bows down. And then once you have a bow down, and the last thing I ever do on a card is I trim the tails, because I just don't want to have that frayed edge there. I want to avoid getting that frayed edge as long as possible. So it looks like a little baby present, kind of, except for I got this hot mess of glue. Oh, it started to stick because the glue was starting to dry. But what will happen is when this dries, it'll dry hard and weird, and it won't be soft like this ribbon over here. So I just created a little ribbon monstrosity on some Mary Merlot paper just to demonstrate for you guys about ribbon and adhesive. So in this card class specifically, oh, here's another one. I got to show you guys this too. I meant to tell you this. This card's a little bit different. You can see how the ribbon doesn't go all the way across here, and you don't do the tear and tape sandwich on the one side. So this is how that works. I'm going to show you. There, I definitely used tear and tape, and I put tear and tape on the front where I was going to need it, and then I put my prep on the back here, And it's not gonna stick where that piece is, so we're gonna take that off. All right, get off of there, little guy. Okay, so last little thing I wanna show you is I prepped this tear and tape right there. So what I'm gonna do is cut the edge of my ribbon how I want it. So I have it at the angle, and that's gonna go right there. And now that tear and tape's gonna hold the end just like that. And then you do the same flipping on the back. And I definitely would do now that tear and tape sandwich on the back. So that's how I put this ribbon down on that card right there. And I'll go over this on Friday. Thursday night we're doing these cards live, so I'll show you guys that Thursday. But I definitely wanted just to show you guys how I would do it just in one special little video for using adhesive on ribbon. So that is our Tip Tuesday. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited. You guys probably are like expecting this to be a lot longer because when Kelly lets me do the Tip Tuesdays, I just jibber jab a lot, guys. So hopefully you got a little bit of benefit out of this and a little use about adhering ribbon. And on that note, you guys should stay tuned for Thursday. Kelly is going to be doing paper piercing for you. And she's got an awesome card that's just in time for April. And it's bright and cheerful on these soon-to-be April rainy days, I think, that we're going to be getting. What is it? April showers bring May flowers. So her card is going to be definitely April showers related. And then we'll see you on Thursday night for Fine Art Floral card making class, which I have a couple kits left in case anybody wants to help out with an order to get those kits for free. I would greatly appreciate it. Lots of sunshine and love and hugs, you guys. Bye.